Welcome to Top 11 Finds of 2015 Artifacts, Relics, and More. A number of my viewers have asked that I put together a top 10 list of the most, I want to say nicest, but that doesn't sound right, unusual, valuable, whatever, artifacts of 2015. I don't know about the value, and I don't know about how unusual some of them are, but I have made some rather interesting finds, and I would like to share this with you. A number of you will remember that I treasure hunt in a lot of different ways. One used to be digging. I can't do that anymore because of my health. Another one was going to yard sales because you find some awesome things there. Going to thrift shops or just along the roadside curb. And that's where these finds for 2015 were made. Now let's look. These are finds that are all in all different categories. So let's begin. Instead of doing the top 10, I'm doing the top 11 because there were some I couldn't decide. Okay, so let's begin with number 11. This is a large snake charmer type basket. This is a vintage piece. I'm thinking maybe 1930s, but I'm not an expert on baskets. This also has a lid. I found this on the curb only about less than a block from where I live. Now it is a key focal point in my living room because it looks so Native American. Number 10. This is a woodland era anchor stone, and this is a large brown stone notched on both sides to be affixed to a woven cord. When I say woodland era, that means it could be anywhere from 500 to 2,500 years old. This awesome artifact was recovered from a flower bed only about 2.5 blocks from my home. Number 9. This is a most unusual piece. Not that it's a mortar and pestle, but because it is a very miniature mortar and pestle. I've put a penny beside this so you can get an idea of how small this is. This was found here in Saginaw, about a half mile from my home, and it was found in loose dirt that a groundhog had deposited next to the entry hole to its tunnels. The groundhogs this past year were responsible for a lot of the finds that I made. They're pretty cool little animals. Anyways, working on our way on, let's take a look at number 8. 8 is a set of 4 hand-carved wooden scoops that would have been used in a circa 1900s general store for measuring out flour, sugar, etc. These pieces were found on the roadside curb about 6 blocks from my home. These pieces were just laying there, and were just like laying there. I can't understand people throwing something like that to the curb. Let's move on now to number 7. These are mighty awesome to me. These are 2 graphite crucibles used in smelting. These have an awesome patina from the different materials that had been smelted in them. These were recovered from a site where a foundry stood in the early 1900s here in Saginaw. There are the broken remains of 20 or 30 additional crucibles lying there. These were found maybe a half mile from my home, and these are quite heavy and stand around 20 inches tall. Let's move on to number 6. Number 6, a flying pig calls to mind the old saying, when pigs fly. This piece is damaged, missing a wing, a foot, and an ear, but it is still awesome. It is heavy for its size and has the effect of being hand-carved, but it also has a seam running around it, which tells me that it was a poured piece. This will eventually be used in one of my shadow box scenes. I found this pig on a stifling hot day and a humid summer day, and was about 5 or 6 blocks from my home. It's not extremely old, but it's not extremely new. I'm thinking that this pig probably hails from the 1960s. Number 5, The Pirate Songbook, published in 1834. A rare book that contains lyrics to songs well over 100 years old. And I acquired this at a local yard sale for the incredible low price of, are you ready for this? $1. The yard sale was only about half a mile from my home. And have you noticed yet how close to home these pieces have been found? Just really kind of cool when you consider how many things are just lying about, ready for you to pick up. Number 4. This is quite amazing to me, and I actually was found by my good friend Gil Alberg, and I acquired it from him. Here's a lead pirate, missing some parts, but that just adds to the charm. The detail on his clothes is remarkable. A really odd thing about this is that the face is a hard plastic, and presumably so were his hands and boots. He was originally a copper color, but now bears a greenish-gray patina. I am just guessing, but I feel that this was probably made in the 1920s because of the plastic face on him. I'm curious about what he was meant to be. Was it a toy? Perhaps an ornament for a goldfish bowl? Or perhaps a most unusual decorative figurine? If you have some opinions of it, please let me know. Gil recovered this within a half a mile from my home. Number 3. Old copper culture hair tubes and an unusual piece that may have been a drill. There are 7 copper hair tubes in various conditions, but it's easy to see how they were made. The copper was pounded flat and then rolled into tubes. These could be as many as 4,000 to 5,000 years old. I consider hunting on the internet a valid form of artifact hunting today. And I found this set for $25, an excellent price, as they could have easily fetched a couple $100 at least. These artifacts were found on the Columbia River in the state of Washington, making them the furthest away from home of any of the items in my top 11 countdown here. Number 2. I love crinoids, also known as the sea lily. It looks like a flower, but it's actually an animal. Crinoid stems are abundant as fossils, but the head, which looks like a flower, is less abundant. Not rare, but somewhat hard to find. In the past, all I found are stems and a holdfast at the base that anchors the crinoid to the sea bottom. Well, I found this black specimen in landscaping stone at a local bank, and I saw this odd-looking black rock, and by the way, the way it was formed, I could tell there was something inside of it. So I placed it in a bowl and covered it with water and put it in our freezer so that it would split it open, and it did a nice job. And when I thawed it out, I gave the stone a whack, and it neatly came apart, revealing a perfect head or crown of a crinoid. It's beautiful, and it is both the inner and outer cast. I found this piece again, close to home, about 3 blocks away. And last, the number 1 find of 2015, are you ready? Is a late archaic bone gouge with engraved symbols on the handle end. This marks the first engraved bone tool I've ever found in 35 plus years of hunting for artifacts. Well, the first intact bone tool I ever found, to be sure. In the past, I had only found very fragmentary bones, which were actually the remains of ancient woodland-era meals. Besides the engraved bone gouge, this same site produced other nice bone artifacts, but none of them engraved. They are all special, but this engraved piece is, at least to me, quite amazing. And that is it for my top 11 countdown for 2015. I'm looking forward to what 2016 has to offer. Thanks for stopping by, and why not hit that subscribe button while you're here right now? And remember, when you are out and about, keep your eyes open, looking down, because you never know what's just up ahead of you in your path, waiting to be found. Hey, God bless y'all, and have a great night.